Luchador.
Growing up in the early 2000s, you watched tons of subjectively weird and dumb stuff. Not weird like David Lynch weird or Salad Fingers weird, and not dumb like Smosh and r/gaming, but really kooky and wacky kid shit you'd watch on your CRT, before they became requirements for Melee tournaments. Mr. Meaty, Mucha Lucha, Destroy Build Destroy, Invader Zim, Ed Ed and Eddy, and whatever the fuck these commercials were.
See this kid?
Hi, Bobby.
He's lucky. He's got a big mouth.
But none of that compares to what I consider Jack Black's crowning achievement, Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre was directed by husband and wife directors Jared Hess and Jerusha Hess. If they sound familiar, then that's because their first feature film was Napoleon Dynamite. While Napoleon Dynamite shows how funny the everyday life of people in Middle America can be, Nacho Libre does the same, but adding an air of wackiness in the setting of Mexico.
But these are my recreation clothes.
Whenever I watch Nacho Libre, something that always comes to mind are the other times Mexico is represented in film. You usually see Mexico as a lawless place that has danger lurking in every corner and without any other color besides yellow and orange. Meanwhile, the Mexico that we see in Nacho Libre doesn't use the same muted color grading you'd see in Napoleon Dynamite. Instead, you got your blues and reds, and the whole thing gives off a more technicolor feel while keeping the overall warm look we associate with Mexico. Whenever there's a joke in Nacho Libre, it makes itself known and multiplies it by 10, either through a well-placed sound effect, a break in silence,
Surprise. Get that cone out of my face!
or a single line of dialogue that to this day I quote with my friends and feel, what the fuck is that? And I know I haven't mentioned it yet, so I'm gonna mention the casting. Everyone, and I mean everyone, shines in this movie. Jack Black is practically the only non-Latino actor in the film, save for, well, El Chino. That's a character. And while it didn't concern me in the slightest, it actually seemed to be an issue for him at first.
I was worried though. I was like, dude, he's a Mexican character. I don't know if I should play that character. And he told me that he had a plan for that, was that my father was Swedish and my mother was Mexican, and I was born in Mexico and I grew up there, but that's why I'm a gringo. I wouldn't have to, do any of the things that would be considered spicy.
And call it dumb or weird, there's a surprising amount of heart to this movie. Ignacio establishes from the very beginning that everything he does for the monastery is for the kids. With a movie like this, you'd expect the ego of being an up-and-coming luchador to get to his head, and it kind of does. I mean, later on he uses his prowess in wrestling to buy fancier clothes and try to win the heart of Sister Encarnacion. I did say try. And yet, despite everything, his main priority is still and always has been the orphans. So, having seen it about more than, let's say, 50 million times, I decided to look more into the movie, and I found that the story was inspired by Sergio Gutierrez Benitez, a Mexican priest who became a luchador by the name of Fray Tormenta, or Friar Storm, to support his own orphanage called La Casa Hogar de los Cachorros de Fray Tormenta, or the home of Friar Storm's puppies in English. And his inspiring story doesn't stop with Nacho Libre either. Benitez was part of the inspiration for King from Tekken, Crasher Wake from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and Tizok from Fatal Fury. Like I said before, you can easily write off Nacho Libre as a stupid, disposable movie from the early 2000s. And having the movie released in theaters between Disney Pixar's Cars and Superman Returns doesn't make it look any better. But as always, this is 8Zoo reminding you to maybe give it another watch. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find something that sticks with you for a long time.
Nacho! Who?
Hey everyone, it's 8Zoo. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. It's probably been my favorite video I've ever edited yet, and I really haven't done that much, but editing this video is pretty fun, but I'm also like getting pretty tired. I mean, it's 5:30 a.m. where I am right now, so I decided to set up a Ko-fi. I set up a coffee, in case you wanted to Swing by, send me $1, $2. I really don't know how coffee works, so hopefully I'll get the hang of it soon. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see what else is in store this year.